Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dawn Does Life, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a whip and chat today because it's been a while since I've done one, and I just wanted to start you off with kind of where I'm at. This has been slow going for me, but there's been reasons, and I'll kind of go over them when I'm doing the chat portion of the whip and chat. So next colors I'm going to work on are the oranges. I'm going to fill in the oranges in here, and I'm hoping to get this side done. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to sit here, and again, like I said, there is a reason for that. So this is the full picture. It's so gorgeous, you guys. Like, just look at it. I can't wait to get this done so that I can pair it up with my out west painting and get it up on the wall. That's the goal. That's what I'm shooting for. So I'm gonna bring you down and then also move this back into a place where I can work on it, because I had it hanging off my table, this bottom portion, and so that I could work on this section here, and then this section I still have yet to do. So just gonna get it all set up. I'll be right back. And just like that. Okay, so again, just working on this. I have a little bit of black to do, but I do still have a bit of work to do in this section. The color I am working on right now is 741. And I'm using the pen I got from O'Brien's Custom Turning. So like this pen also. And yeah, let's just get into it. So I hope you guys are doing really good. I have not been doing the best. Like, not horrible or anything, but I started back around Easter working for another courier type company that had a guaranteed wage per hour. So I thought, okay, let's give this a try. And instead of doing food delivery, I was doing prescriptions. It could be alcohol. I never ended up doing any alcohol deliveries, but that was one of the things I could do. And I had to get a license to carry cannabis because there was some cannabis deliveries as well. And there's a whole process to go through for that to keep it legal and above board. So it was doing that, but also there were some grocery deliveries. And so I did it, I don't know, I did it for over a month, but about the second or third week, it was really awesome. So they give you tasks, they assign you so many tasks, and whatever time you're scheduled to work, you just get your tasks done. And if nothing else comes up, you're paid to just be on the clock in case something does. So that actually happened quite often. I would be done after an hour or an hour and a half and then just have the rest of the night to myself. But these grocery deliveries, oh my goodness, they were really hard to do, especially when you're delivering like to apartments without elevators and you're climbing stairs and you're carrying all these bags. And most of the grocery deliveries were from the co-op, and so they would give you these bags that were lined with ice packs, and they are freaking heavy. Anyway, one day I knew something happened. So you guys know I've talked about my back before. I have trouble with my back. It's always sore, and it was getting just like unbearable. There was a day that I had 2 really big grocery deliveries back to back. One of them was to an apartment building. This one did have an elevator, but it was 2 of the ice packs, which again, like I said, those things are super heavy. And then a paper bag, and then there was a couple of loose items. And I am walking down the hall trying to get this all without dropping everything to this guy who was in a wheelchair and clearly couldn't get the groceries himself, which is fine. I enjoy helping people. I mean, and I have to tell you, like lots of prescription deliveries, people are so nice when you're delivering their prescriptions for them. Having said that, also cannabis, people are very happy when you're delivering cannabis. Anyways, so yeah, I did that one, and then the very next one was to another older gentleman, and his front stairs, the very first stair, was super high, and I went to take the step up. It was another one where I was carrying several of these stupid coolers. I went to go take a step up, and I literally couldn't lift the weight of these 2 coolers and the bags and everything else. So I kind of fell back. I didn't fall or anything, but I just knew that was it. I'd had my breaking point, and so I did a couple of days where I said, I'm sorry, I can't lift anything heavy. They kind of worked with me, and I just wanted to see if it would kind of resolve itself after a few days. It didn't. I ended up being off for, I think it was 2 weeks, and finally the pain was so bad, like I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't get comfortable. If I did fall asleep, it wasn't for very long, and I'd wake up in excruciating pain. So I finally gave in and went to go see a chiropractor. And so now I've been seeing him for, I've done 3 weeks with him so far. And I do feel better. But at one point he had me feeling, I was feeling like, wow, I have not felt this good in such a long time, like years. And then the last 2 visits, I don't know what he did or if it's just kind of par for the course, but my lower back is hurting again. So they wouldn't touch me when I went in. Years ago when I went in, you have to get x-rays so that they can take a look at your spine. But he did an adjustment that first day. It was a small one, but he did one. And this is the same guy I'm seeing all these years later. And yeah, they wouldn't touch me without seeing the x-ray. I guess they were concerned, with good cause, because holy crap, is my spine ever screwed up. So your neck, like if this is the back of my neck right here, you know, it kind of has that natural like curve to it, and then your head sits on top. Well, mine is kind of curved this way, sort of straight up and down. There's a lot of damage in the discs or facet joints on my neck, and then my spine is too straight. It doesn't have that curve, and then I don't know, it kind of like goes in and then straight up. So we got to get that curve going, but also like it's curved this way, kind of. Like there's a section that kind of curves in here. I have a pinched nerve, which is causing sciatic pain like crazy. It just feels like, and this has been going on for a long time, it just feels like pain going down my leg, but where it really, I feel it in through my hip, but then from my knee down just has been aching so much. And my left foot has been like, is so swollen, like really, really swollen. And a couple visits back, so I was so desperate in that 2 weeks before I finally gave in and saw the chiropractor. I was getting Greg to crack my back, like just grabbing me from around the back and lifting me. And the very first time he did it, it felt like instant relief. And the chiropractor said, no, don't do that anymore. But anyway, so I had a day like that with him too, where whatever he did, oh, and I've got these 2 spots on my back that if he even just touches them, it almost bounces me off the table. It's actually 3. Well, maybe it's an area, like it's like middle and 2 sides. But he doesn't stop. He keeps pushing on it, and it is just so hard to sit there. It literally, my head will bounce off of the table, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's good, stop. And he doesn't listen to me, which is good because obviously it needs work. But anyways, I had a day where whatever he did and whatever he worked on, the swelling went down to, I would say, just about nothing. I had no pain. My lower back was tickety-boo. I just felt great for about 4 days until my next visit with him. And since then, I've been in pain again, but not, having said that, not anywhere near. So it's been really hard for me to even just sit and do this for any length of time. I keep coming back to it and doing it, which is why I haven't really done a WIP and chat, because I can't sit long enough to actually do one. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me, and I'm in some pain right now, and I don't think I'll be able to do this for a really long period of time still, but I also wanted to just touch base with all of you, and hopefully some of you will post in the comments how you've been doing and what are some of the things that you've been up to, because I mean, I like hearing about what you guys are doing, and yeah, I've missed it. So that's the big one. So I actually, the first time I took the time off of working at this other job. So my oldest daughter was doing it too, and she was actually the one that told me about it, and she really liked it. But now she's getting a little bit frustrated for different reasons with it, and I don't know. I don't know if she's going to keep on with it, but I would like to, because of course you guys know I do the food delivery, and I really like it. But people are a lot more grumpy with food delivery, I've noticed, than, you know, when you're dealing with people who are so nice and so thankful, you really do notice how grumpy people are when you are delivering food. It makes it that much more apparent, even though you already know. You really know. What was I going to say? What was I saying? Oh, so when I initially had taken the time off, just before that, when I had explained that I had hurt my back, he said unfortunately he couldn't guarantee that I wouldn't do grocery delivery, because that's the big one. And that's the one that really hurts me. So I tried it, and yeah, I was working with the dispatchers. The dispatchers were so kind to me. If I told them there was really just an order that I just could not take, they had no problem getting somebody else to do it for me. And so I messaged, my chiropractor told me that it would be months before I could lift. He doesn't want me lifting more than 10 pounds. He said 15 max, but like not regularly. So I had told the guy at this company that, and told him I'd be off the schedule for a while, or I would be off the schedule because according to my chiropractor, it's going to be, he said, months to fix my back. And I'm kind of losing my train of thought just because so much of this, I just been dealing with this, and it's just like one thing after the other. He took me off the schedule, and he said maybe, and I had said to him, I really don't want to stop doing this because I enjoy it. So he said maybe just give it another week or two. I'll keep you off the schedule, see how you're doing, and then we can put you on the evening. They only go until 8 o'clock at night. So they could put me on some of the evening shifts, and those ones are more the cannabis and the prescriptions. And so I have done grocery delivery in the evening though, but because the dispatchers are so good, I have a feeling I could probably just say to them, look, can somebody else please do these? Anyway, so I have a shift finally this week. He only gave me one to see how I do. And I mean, honestly, if I'm not going to be able to do this, this will be the test. If I can keep it light, I think I'll be okay. Like food delivery, I don't think I'd have a problem. There's very rare instances where the bag is super heavy. I remember years ago, I did a $100 order of food from Burger King, and it completely filled my food bag, my pizza bag, and all of the pot. Oh, it was just insane how much food it was. Delivering to a sports team at a hotel, and they didn't even tip me. I was so mad. But anyway, that was a difficult one. I also have done some really heavy Chinese food deliveries, but more often than not, it's very, very manageable. But anyway, so that's what I've been dealing with. And yeah, I've had to get Greg to do any of the like heavy lifting, like potatoes if I go grocery shopping, or the cat litter, that kind of thing. Which, by the way, Jasper's doing really good. He is, on June 24th, we've had him for a year, and his birthday was April 24th. So he is definitely a year old now. I love his zoomies. He gets the zoomies, and he's just all over the place. And he's always trying to jump at the patio door like he's trying to get out. It's hilarious. But just to let you know, I have some shorts. I will link the playlist up here of, they're different shorts, but some of them are of Jasper. If you are curious about Jasper, there are some funny, cute videos of him up on the page. He's adorable. He's a sweetheart. He is very affectionate, loves to just sit in your arms. Milo was never like that. Milo would only sit for like a minute and then he was gone. Jasper's quite content to sit in your arms for a while. And then also he likes just being in the same room as you. He hates it when I come in here because he's not allowed in here because of how furry he is. And I've let him in a few times, and I usually will let him as long as he stays on the floor. But the second he starts jumping up on stuff, I pick him up and take him out. And maybe if I do that enough times, he'll get the message and stop doing it. He did really good last night. I was working on this a little bit, and he actually just crawled into a bag and laid there for about half an hour. And then after that, he was jumping all over the place. And I was like, okay, no, you're gone. That's it. You had your visit. But yeah, he is adorable. We love him so much. And Greg was never really close with our old cat Milo. And he just loves Jasper. I actually would never have guessed Greg would be such a cat person. But he definitely spends time with Milo or Jasper and loves playing with him. And Jasper's cracking us up all the time. It's so funny. And he sleeps on his back. He's so weird. But not even just sleeps on his back. He'll just rest in the middle of the floor on his back with his little back legs going straight up. It's just, at one point, so when he got fixed, he ended up, because he had a cone on, getting really matted on his belly, and we could not get it out. So we ended up taking him in and getting him shaved down, kind of give him a fresh start. Well, he hasn't grown it all back yet, but he's getting there. And before that, he was so fluffy, his fur would hit the ground on his tummy. He was just a fluff ball. And I could have sworn I had adopted a tardigrade, not a freaking cat. Like, the way he lays, it was just so funny. Anyways, he brings us lots of joy, that's for sure. So, but yeah, if you're curious, you can check those videos out. I know a couple of you have asked about Jasper and how he's doing, and that was my best way to kind of show you some of the highlights of the things that we go through with him. So birds are doing good. I haven't really gotten any videos of the birds. I do occasionally, I'll videotape them for a few minutes, and then I'll put my phone with the screen side down on like the top of the cage, and they just go nuts for the noises that they just made, but they think it's other birds, and they're so curious about it, and they'll go right up to the top of the cage and like peck at the screen and just watch what the birds are doing that are them. Again, I have to say they're them. So I got Kiwi is the one that flew into our yard. We sent him to the parrot rescue because we thought he had hurt himself, and then when nobody claimed him, I offered to take him. And then a month later, they contacted us and asked us if we would like 3 more. And we took these other 3. So Kiwi was doing so good. He would hop up on my hand, no problem. We were really starting to bond. And then since we've had the 3 birds, Kiwi now has become very, it's not that he's withdrawn, but he's very quiet. And I think he's just kind of trying to figure out how to fit in with these other 3 birds. Now we're going on almost a year. They do interact, but at the beginning, Kiwi just went so quiet, and then these other birds just had the rule of the roost, and they were a bonded trio, I guess, apparently. And funny though, they had said they thought Kiwi would be a good mix into this flock, if that's what you call them, because Olivia was sort of on the outside, and Odie and Bondi were kind of bonded. And so we figured that Olivia and Kiwi would bond. But when I had them, like, I did notice that Odie kind of bonds with everybody. And she's my little white bird. She's gorgeous. She's so sweet. But she more with Olivia. She's bonded more to Olivia. So, but when I first got the birds, I couldn't stand Olivia. Olivia, I thought, was just a little bag. And she literally would chase people around the cage, not let them have water, not let them have food until she was done with it. If they were playing with one of the toys, she'd go get them off the toys. I also find Odie does that too, but to a lesser extent. Anyway, Olivia is absolutely my favorite bird. She has got a character. She is crazy. Every day she's got this one toy that she's trying to, you see her working for hours to try to get, it's like this little chain link, but it's plastic, and it's like maybe about that long, and there's like several pieces of it hanging, and she takes those little pieces, climbs up the side of the cage, and tries to get them looped around the top of this like sun mirrors perch thing that I have, or that they have, and oh my god, it's just so hilarious to watch. She is relentless, and she is the first one. If I put my hand in the cage and tell her to step up, she's up, but she doesn't like to sit on my hand this way. She'll sit this way, and then she crawls up my arm, maybe takes a nibble at my watch, crawls up here. I've had bruises. I don't know if I have any right now, but then she just like pinch bites. It doesn't hurt. It's, I don't know how to explain. I love it. And then she'll like crawl up my arm, but I can't get them out of the cage because of the cat. Because of Jasper. Jasper is just so hyper aware of what's going on with them that when they do escape, which it has happened, he is right on them. Like you have to let the bird go and do whatever it's going to do, and the first thing you do is grab the cat and put him in a room with the door closed so that you can then concentrate on getting the bird back into the cage. But anyway, so it's an adventure. I love it. Greg does not like birds even a little bit, and even he has come to enjoy their noises, and I mean, he thinks Olivia's a freak. And Bondi is my little green and black one. He or she, they're all she's. She is so sweet too. She was very, very timid, very hard to get her to come up on my hand, and she would like fly all over the cage to avoid me. And now she does come up on my finger, not for a really long time, but she doesn't bite. Kiwi will bite. Olivia will bite. Odie bites a little bit, but not much. And Bondi doesn't bite at all. So yeah, they're sweethearts. I love it. I feel very blessed that I have them. That's for sure. They're my kitties now that all my kids are gone. Oh, and speaking of my kids, Caitlin, my youngest, is now living in Calgary. They bought a house. They've been doing some renovations on their yard. Like the house, I can't believe all of the stuff that they've accomplished. It's so awesome. We have not seen the house yet. Greg has to go to Calgary for meetings middle to the end of July. So he is going to be able to see her then, and he's going to get to go see the house, but not me, not yet. Hopefully soon. Maybe I'll just have to go without him, I don't know. But anyway, I just don't like the long drive, and I probably wouldn't fly because I don't like flying either. So she is like, I think 3 or 4 days away from going to Japan, and they're going all over. They've got several cities they're going to, but oh my goodness. So she was showing me some of the places that they're planning on seeing, and then there's this one light museum, and, or did she call it a social media I don't know. It's all like lights. Everything is lights. And I just think it would be the coolest thing. I am so excited for her. Like, she has got this bucket list. I mean, she loves to travel. She's traveled all over Europe. She's been in Poland. I can't even list all the places she's been. Now she's going to Japan, and she's going to Austria in December. Went to Hawaii last year for Christmas, and now for her birthday she's going to Austria. Like, it's just crazy. It's just so cool that she's doing it. Anyways, her bucket list is she wants to be in 30 countries by the age of 30, and she said it will be close. Can you imagine, like 30 years old and you've already been to 30 countries? That's insane. I'm not saying, maybe for some people it's like normal, or, you know, ugh, piece of cake. In my mind, and the way my mind works, that's just crazy. And I'm so happy for her, because she is kind of a wandering soul and really loves traveling and is doing what she wants to do. But yeah, so I'm really, really happy for that. I can't believe it, that I've got this many of these orange. I still have a bunch over here too. I keep thinking, oh, I'm so close to being done this section, and it ends up taking me longer than I think it's going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just do 6. Oh, I got that one all crooked. Oh, I got one upside down. Let's just start over with that one. So yeah, that is going on. I know that, so I'm kind of waiting on somebody to tell me or give me some baby news. And you know who you are. I have just been sitting here anticipating hearing the good news, and I hope that everything is going okay, and if you haven't had the baby, you are having it soon, because selfish me needs to know these things. Hint, hint. That's all I'll say about that. So I don't know if any of you watch this show called Alone. It is like, so think of Survivor, only more realistic Survivor. Like, they take contestants and they drop them in the middle of nowhere, and they are literally on their own. They're by themselves. They did one year where they had like it was 2 people. I don't think that year went over very well because they've never done it again. But initially when this series started, they for several years were on the north end of Vancouver Island, and I just fell in love with this. Actually, it was my daughter Caitlin and I that started watching it. Greg didn't watch it right away. And it became our thing. Every time there was a series on, we had to watch it. And so we've watched every year. I don't think Caitlin watches it anymore, but now Greg and I watch it, and I have never missed a year. But I love this show. And so they were in northern Vancouver Island. Then I think they went down to Patagonia, down South America, and then they were in Alaska, and then they did 2 seasons in northeastern Canada, I think Nova Scotia. I can't remember if it was Nova Scotia or, no, not Nova Scotia. Maybe New Brunswick. I don't remember all the places, but northeastern Canada. This year, they're in northern Saskatchewan. And so the season is already filmed because they always, and the one thing, every time we'd watch Survivor, and Survivor's another one, I've never missed a season, but it's more like the group and the society and the games and whatever. This is not like that at all. This is literally, you're dropped, you have 10 items you can take in, you are not given food, everything you have to do. You have to build your shelter by yourself. You have to learn how to hunt if you don't know already. Most people do. But it's just, I love it because it's just so real. Anyways, I thought it was really cool. They're at Reindeer Lake in northern Saskatchewan, and they always film in the winter time, or just before winter. They did one season where it was full on winter, and actually that season was like, oof, whatever, because it really wasn't full on winter, but I guess it should have been. I don't know. I enjoy it no matter what. Actually, if I'm saying like I'm complaining about it, but really, no, I enjoy it. Anyway, so they always go in a week or 2 before the expectation of the snowfall and the real winter setting in. And then the last man standing is the one who wins the prize. And they don't know because they're all sent to remote locations on their own. So nobody knows until, and they do health checks every week. So when the boat comes in to do the health check, you don't know if they're about to tell you that you won, or you know that they're just there to do the health check. So anyways, really, really cool idea. I love the show so much, and I would highly, highly recommend you guys watching it if you like that type of show. If you like Survivor and realistic type survival, you'd really, really like that show. So it's on right now. It just started. We've seen 2 episodes. Well, they did the opening night. They did the before the drop. So you got to meet each of the contestants and kind of see a little bit about their skills and their backstory and where they live and all that stuff. And this year they're going all out. Like, these people are like off the grid, raised off the grid, learned how to hunt, you know, like it just, so I think there's going to be some really, really super qualified contestants. I think it's going to be an interesting year, at least I'm hoping it is. I think I'm just about going to wrap it up. I sort of really just kind of wanted to touch base with you about what's been going on. Recently did it, my second Temu haul. I'll also have that one linked up above if you're interested in what Temu is all about. I don't know. I just watched the haul videos because I find them so interesting. And if you're like that, then I've got a couple of them. I'll list both of them actually up in the I symbol. And you can check them out if you want to, or if you haven't seen them already. And what else? I don't know if there's really anything else to fill you in on. Oh, and then one other thing. Okay, so back even before the issues with my back, I don't know what the heck happened. This was over a month ago, but just all of a sudden, my one eye had this kind of, it was almost like a blind spot. I get aura migraines. It was kind of like that, except it didn't have the sparkly colors. But it would just basically, whatever I'd look at, actually, it's still happening. I couldn't see. It was like everything was shadowy. And so I called, again, that was another thing that I waited several weeks to see if it would resolve itself, and it didn't. And I'd right around that time been getting a lot of headaches, and anyway, so I called and I said, you know, I'm not sure if I need to see somebody or if I need to see my eye doctor or if I need to see my doctor. I said, but this has been going on. So like they were like, no, you need to come in right away. I'm like, okay. So I go in and they're checking me for retinal detachment was what they were concerned with, which it didn't end up being. Whatever it is, I don't think he said that, I mean, I must have had something happen because I have a new eye floater and it's up near the pupil. And he said eventually they, like at first it's like sludgy, sloshy, whatever. And so it kind of is just existing in that space, but eventually it will settle. Anyway, I have a hard time believing that. It's not getting worse, and this was a new eye doctor too. My eye doctor wasn't available, and I didn't really care for him that much. But anyways, so he said, you know, this could take I can't give you a time frame on how long this will take, but definitely if it gets worse, you want to come back to us. Well, it hasn't gotten worse, but man, is it frustrating. Like if I'm, for example, putting on makeup, when I'm putting it on my left eye, and I'm using my right eye to see what I'm doing, I can't, it's like everything is like dim. I can't explain it, but it's kind of scary actually. And it was scary when I didn't know what it was, but apparently it's just a floater. I have floaters in both my eyes, but the one that's in my left eye is down so low that it doesn't interfere with vision. And I don't know, the shape, I can see the shape of the floater that's in my left eye. It doesn't look like, it looks like a string, kind of. The one that's on my right eye just looks like, it looks like there's something over top of my pupil causing everything to look, it's like sunglasses, only darker. It's like, you know, when you wear sunglasses and you look through and everything looks darker. Well, this is even darker than that, but just in one spot. It's really weird. So I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see if anything else comes, if it gets worse. Hopefully it'll get better, but nothing looked too bad on all of the tests they did. So, and it had been a few years since I had all of my eye tests done, like before COVID actually, and I was due for an eye exam anyway, so they did it all. Oh, and I've been wearing my readers as pretty much my go-to glasses for a while now, because so many things that I'm looking at I'm trying to read, so I can kind of like just look above my glasses when I want to see normally, and then, but they have said I need progressives because even some of my far vision, when I'm driving, I notice I can't read signs I can read them, but they are blurry. I guess I should say that because that makes it sound like I shouldn't be on the road driving. It's not that bad. But anyways, so yeah. So that happened too. So I've just been a mess. It feels like this year is like my year of just kind of everything being not okay, if I can say it like that. I don't, it's like, this is the year, I had COVID at the beginning of the year. It took a really long time to get over that. Long past COVID, I was coughing. It just couldn't get rid of the cough. Then I had this issue with my eye. And I'm having this issue with my back and my legs and my hips. And so it just seems like it's kind of one of those years where it's just going to be a more rough year. And I don't like it. So I'm going into this other section. So like this is where it ends, I think, like there, about there. And with some of the colors, I've been kind of going over into it. I also, part of the reason I want to get this done so bad is because if you guys saw my unboxing for the Soul Reflection, I'll have that up in the eye. Oh, that picture is gorgeous. And the funny thing is, I think the next one I was going to work on was Mandy Manzano, because everybody talks about how amazing her pictures are. And I have one here now finally, and I wanted to do one. But then this one happened, and I'm just like, it's super, super long. It's like 53 inches long. I don't know what I'm getting into. It's almost 100,000, 93,000 diamonds. Like, I don't know if I'm biting off more than I can chew. And it's square. Like, ugh, I'm going to be like on meltdown after doing it, but I think I want to do it. So, but anyways, it's up in the eye as well. If you want to go check out that unboxing, it is a gorgeous picture. And I don't know, it's amazing. Anyways, I'm not even gonna, because I did it in the video. You just hear me say over and over again, I love it, I love it, I'm in love, it's beautiful, oh my god, it's stunning. Like, I just couldn't stop gushing about this picture. So yeah, I want to get this one done so that I can get into that one, if that is the one I'm going to do, but like in my head right now, because it's in my head right now, I'm thinking I might. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I think I did all the X's in this section. Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. So you guys, hope you guys were able to get some work on your projects. I'm just going to raise this up. I've got it hanging off my desk here at the end, just so I can be close enough to it to be able to drill. But so yeah, hope you were able to get some work done on your projects, whatever it is you were working on. Or if you're like me, and I mean, sometimes I'll have a WIP and chat going on in the background, but sometimes I actually just sit and watch WIP and chats. So whatever floats your boat. But that's where I'm going to leave it. I had fun chatting with you. Hopefully you guys are kind of all caught up on what's going on. I would love to hear what's been going on with you. Do you have any summer plans? Exciting things? Let me know. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video as well. I'd love it if you subscribed. I hope you guys are having the most awesome day wherever you are and whenever you're watching this. And I will catch you guys all in the next video. Bye.